Your colleague just mentioned that project you failed 3 years ago, in front of your boss, with a smile. Everyone's looking at you, waiting for you to defend yourself, to explain, to justify. Don't. What you do in the next 10 seconds will either kill your credibility or cement it. The Stoics knew this trap, and they knew exactly how to turn it into your advantage. When Marcus Aurelius became emperor, his political rivals constantly reminded Rome of his family's scandals, his father's questionable business dealings, his uncle's military failures. They wanted him defensive, scrambling to explain, apologizing for things he didn't do. He never took the bait. Instead, he used a response so powerful it made his critics look petty and made him look unshakable. You're not running an empire, but when that colleague brings up your past mistakes in tomorrow's meeting, you'll use the same principle. Word for word. Strategy number 1, the power pause. When someone weaponizes your past, your instinct is to talk immediately, to correct the record, to defend yourself. That instinct destroys you. Scenario: you're in a strategy meeting. Sarah says,
Well, given how the last product launch went under your supervision, maybe we should let someone else handle this one.
everyone's eyes shift to you. Here's what you say. Nothing. For 3 full seconds. Count them. 1, 2, 3. Let the silence work. Let Sarah's words hang in the air undefended. Let everyone else get uncomfortable with how petty that sounded. Then, and only then, you speak. But not to defend, not to explain. You say, "That's an interesting perspective, Sarah. Let's focus on what we're solving today." Notice what you didn't do. You didn't relitigate the past. You didn't get defensive. You didn't give her ammunition by showing emotion. You acknowledged her, then moved everyone forward. Epictetus taught his students, if someone speaks badly of you, consider whether what they said is true. If it is, correct it. If it isn't, laugh at it. You're doing neither. You're transcending it. Your action this week: practice the 3-second pause at home. When your partner brings up something you forgot, when your teenager challenges you, count to 3 before responding. Build the muscle. Strategy number 2, the ownership redirect. Most people think acknowledging past mistakes makes you look weak. The opposite is true. Scenario: your boss brings up that you missed quarterly targets last year during a discussion about who should lead the new division. Wrong response: that wasn't entirely my fault. The market conditions. Right response: you're right. I missed those targets. Here's what I learned and what I'd do differently now. Then, and this is critical, you immediately shift to current competence. Full statement: you're right. I missed those targets. Here's what I learned and what I'd do differently now. Which is why the last 3 quarters, we've exceeded projections by an average of 12%. That experience taught me something no success could have. Watch what just happened. You owned it completely, which took away their weapon. Then you reframed it as the exact reason you're now more qualified, not less. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." You just showed them your polish. The person trying to use your past against you now looks like they're attacking someone who grew from adversity. That's a bad look in any organization. Your action: prepare 3 sentences about your biggest professional setback. What happened? What you learned? What you've proven since? Rehearse until it's effortless. Quick question, and be honest in the comments. What's the professional mistake people most often bring up about you? The project that failed? The promotion you didn't get? The job you left badly? Now, strategy 3 is where this gets dangerous, because if you use this wrong, you'll make everything worse. Strategy number 3, the strategic confession. This one requires perfect timing. Use it too early, you look insecure. Use it too late, you look defensive. Get it right, and you own the room. When to use it. When someone's about to bring up your past, and you know it's coming, you bring it up first, on your terms. Scenario: you're interviewing for a director position. You left your last company under difficult circumstances, and you know they know. You don't wait for them to ask. In your opening statement, you say, "Before we get started, I want to address my departure from Johnson & Associates. I made decisions I'd make differently today. I learned expensive lessons about leadership and communication. Those lessons are why I'm sitting here now. They made me the leader you're actually looking for." Notice the structure. You named it. You owned it. You reframed it. You made it an asset. All in 3 sentences. Then you move on. You don't dwell. You don't over-explain. You don't apologize in circles. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journals, "Confine yourself to the present." He wasn't avoiding the past. He was refusing to live there. The critical detail: this only works if you've actually changed. If you haven't learned from what happened, this sounds hollow. People can tell the difference between authentic growth and polished spin. Your action: write out your strategic confession for your biggest career setback. 3 sentences maximum. Read it to someone you trust. If they hear defensiveness, rewrite it. If they hear growth, memorize it. Strategy number 4, the future frame. When someone keeps pulling you backward into your past, you need to pull the entire conversation forward into the future. Scenario: during budget discussions, Tom says,
"Last time we let you manage a major expense item, we went 30% over budget."
Most people would respond, "That was because of vendor delays that—" Stop. You're in the past defending yourself. Instead, you're talking about 2022. Let's talk about 2025. The budget model I've built for this project includes 3 contingency layers based on exactly what went wrong then. Want to walk through it? Notice you didn't deny Tom's fact. You didn't argue. You acknowledged the year, then immediately moved everyone 2 years forward and repositioned yourself as the expert who learned from experience. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Tom tried to define you by what happened. You're defining yourself by how you evolved. The power move. After you shift to the future, you invite them into it. Want to walk through it? That's not defensive. That's leadership. You just turned an attack into an opportunity to demonstrate current competence. Your action. Next time anyone mentions your past, in any context, practice this sentence structure. You're talking about the past. Let's talk about now. Here's what's different now. Here's what I want to know. Which of these 4 strategies feels most natural to you? The power pause? The ownership redirect? Strategic confession? Future frame? Comment the name of the one you're going to try this week. And if you're over 50 and dealing with younger colleagues who constantly bring up the old way of doing things, tell me. That's its own video, and I'll make it if there's demand. Now, the final strategy. This is the one I got promoted twice using, but it requires something most people aren't willing to give. Strategy number 5, the character witness. When someone uses your past against you, the most powerful response isn't what you say, it's who else speaks. This is long-game stoicism. You build a track record so consistent, so reliable, so professional, that when someone brings up an old mistake, other people in the room defend you before you have to defend yourself. Real example from my career. I missed a major deadline 5 years ago. Cost the company real money. When a competitor for a promotion brought it up in a leadership meeting, I didn't say a word. My boss said,
That was 5 years ago. Since then, he's delivered 23 consecutive projects on time, or early. One mistake doesn't define 5 years of excellence.
I didn't have to defend myself. My work did. Here's how you build this. Every project, every deadline, every commitment, you deliver with such consistency that your reputation becomes your defense. Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. When you are one, consistently, visibly, undeniably, other people become your character witnesses. That's the ultimate response to anyone weaponizing your past. Your action. This one's hard. For the next 90 days, track every commitment you make, every deadline, every promise, small and large. Then, track your delivery rate. Get it above 95%. That's how you build unshakable credibility. Notice the pattern connecting all 5 strategies. You never deny the past. You never defend it endlessly. You acknowledge it, then you transcend it. Power pause. Transcend with silence. Ownership. Redirect. Transcend with growth. Strategic confession. Transcend with control. Future frame. Transcend with vision. Character. Witness. Transcend with consistency. You're not running from your past. You're building a present so strong that your past becomes irrelevant. That's not just career strategy. That's Stoic philosophy applied to modern leadership. You've been in your role long enough to have a past. That experience, including the failures, is exactly what qualifies you for what's next. One more thing they don't tell you. This works at home too. When your teenager brings up that time and you promised to make their game but didn't, same framework. Acknowledge. Redirect to pattern. Show current consistency. You're right, I missed that game. That's why I haven't missed one since. What matters more? One mistake 2 years ago, or 20 games I've shown up for since. Stoicism doesn't clock out at 5 p.m. The same principles that earn you respect at work build trust at home. You started this video in that meeting room with your colleague weaponizing your past, everyone watching to see how you'd react. You're leaving it with 5 responses that transform attacks into opportunities, mistakes into credentials, and criticism into your competitive advantage. The difference? You stopped defending your past and started demonstrating your present. Subscribe for a new Stoic workplace strategy every week. Drop a comment telling me which strategy you're using first. I respond to everyone, especially from those of you over 45 navigating younger, more aggressive colleagues. Remember, the past only controls you if you let it. Executive by day. Stoic always. Now go show them who you've become.